Hey, Team Summit. I'm standing here outside our offices and the Rosner Human Performance Center. Um, just want to run three things by you real quick as we approach August, and we're getting ready to move into the core of our season here. First thing is the most important date for you to know. You need to block this out of your calendar now. This is where everything you need to know happens or is provided to you at Team Summit. That date is November 11th. It's the second Saturday in November. That'll be the date of our family orientation, and that's going to happen here at Comfort Mountain in the Conference Center. So really pretty important date for you to be at. So hope you can find the time to join us on that day. Next thing I want to do is I wanted to tell you, just give you a little history that leads into a project that we're working on. So the history is back in 2018 we did a strategic plan at Team Summit. We used a format called a Strat-Op. The results of that really set us on a great track that among other things really allowed us to become a financially stable company. It allowed us to also really initiated the growth that we're going through right now. At that point in time, we had just under 450 kids in Team Summit. Last year, we had just over 1,000 kids in Team Summit, and so a lot of great things came out of that. But that's 5 years ago, and you know, we've successfully accomplished what came out of that strategic plan. So it was time for a new one. So you probably remember a couple surveys you got a chance to respond to this past season. We also did a lot of interviews with key partners here in the community, our resort partners, sponsors, other key people here in our community. Out of that, we did another Strat-Op, and so we brought a leadership team together for 2 days in early June. Out of that, we came up with basically 5 task force or 5 initiatives that we're working on. And I just want to run those by you so you kind of know where we're going right now with Team Summit and what we're hoping to accomplish. So the 5 are, the first one is community engagement, and you know, the idea of this is how do we make more connections in Summit County, particularly looking at younger athletes, elementary school age, and how can we make connections with them here in Summit County and give them opportunities to experience what we offer here at Team Summit. The next one that we're working on is elite athlete retention. And we've done pretty well at this actually over the last 5 years, but we feel like there's a gap still to close with our elite athletes. And so even though we're putting a couple to the US ski team almost every year, we want to continue to improve that. Third thing is employee recruiting, education, and retention. This is really right now our biggest limiting factor in additional growth at Team Summit is you know, we had 184 coaches last season. We estimate we're going to be over 200 coaches this season. And so how do we get the right people here, enough of the right people, provide them the education and tools they need to be successful as a coach, and then once we invest in them, we want to keep them as part of Team Summit. So there's a group that's working on that. Next is accessibility. Accessibility really is focusing on growing our tuition assistance programs and our and expanding to some new programs like helping athletes who qualify for major competitions and that type of thing be able to fund those things and you know, really get the most that they can out of Team Summit. So this year we launched a pilot program in ITS. We had limited funds for it. It took about 6 weeks to go through all the funds, but a number of people in Intro to Team Summit this year, their tuition is what we call income-based tuition. So when they enrolled in Team Summit, they had the opportunity to check a box, and when they checked that box, they put in just minimal financial information, and we calculated their tuition off of their income. And you know, that's the dream right now. in Team Summit is really to get that income-based tuition from top to bottom throughout our programs, so that we're removing as much of the financial burden as we can to be not only be part of Team Summit, but also be able to take full advantage of what our sport has to offer. And then the final task force is working on venues. We have great venues, 4 resorts, all world-class resorts. They give us great opportunities, but there's still some room that we can grow in our venues. And so, we're working on, getting some world-class venues within our world-class resorts. And so that's a big project, that likely a multiple-year project, but we're doing great. We see an opportunity to do better in venues, so there's a group that's working on that. So that's kind of the direction, big picture stuff we're doing at Team Summit. Thought you would like to know that and know about it, and have an idea what type of organization you're a part of and where that organization's going. Last thing I want to say to you then, really to say to everybody, is everything that we do, all of our success, the future of this organization, it's really reliant on our donors and our sponsors here at Team Summit, and there's a long list of them, way too long to mention all of them by name, but those people are key to what we do. They're key to our success. They're key to providing better access to athletes to be part of Team Summit. And so just thanks to all of our donors and supporters, and really appreciate all of you. I love this sport, and we'll see you out on the mountains.